It's awesome. Then, as you know, we're going to be exploring a few which we call innovative type of technologies to get students working in groups, collaborating, and uh, and doing probably some project-based learning. So, but first, I was hoping, we already did a warm welcome, but I wanted to do a mini warm welcome, and at the same time, I cannot double up on one of the tools. On the slide 43, then you have the warm welcome. Let me show you how this works. Basically, if you click on the link at the top, it's going to take you to Google Earth, and the first pin that I have there is for my home, where I grew up in the Dominican Republic. Actually, if I zoom out, you will see this is the city of Santo Domingo in the Dominican Republic, Caribbean islands. Woohoo! If you have gone to the beach there, I know that you had a good time. Party town, a lot of beautiful white sand beach. So that's where I grew up. My teammate Brittany is not here today, but she helped me plan this PL, and unfortunately she had to go to a funeral, so she's out of the state. So if you look at the table of contents at the bottom, you notice that there are a couple of pins. Those are the pins that Brittany and I have put in. But if you click here on the top arrow, now you're able to do a search. Let's say that you want to search for your birthplace. I would like to know, where did you guys grow up? Where were you born? Let's say that I do, for example, Florida. And I look for Florida. You notice in the right window, now it's going to Florida. Yeah, look at that. And I can actually save to project. All I have to do is save to project there. And now it is added to the tray on the left, where I can actually navigate the project and go wherever I want to. So the first pin is on my home. If you don't mind to, please, it kind of shows where you are from, where you grew up. I'm going to put it on a slideshow. And then we're going to do a little walkthrough very quickly. Anybody has a question about what we're doing in there?
Not yet. Let me see.
Okay.
Let me see if I can get.
If you're not speaking, would you do me a favor and mute yourself? Thank you. That way we don't have to listen to the keyboard taka, 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 going around. Let me show you the search bar. I'm going to go back to that. You have to actually click on the top arrow. When you open the project first, it shows it in presentation mode. So at the top left by Brittany's picture, you will see that there is a little arrow there. Click on that arrow, and then you have the search bar. Actually, I'm going to erase that pin from Florida that I dropped in. I'm going to delete it. So that's where you do the search on that bar at the very top. I'm going to erase Florida there. You'll see me doing that. So you can choose whatever city you grew up or were born in. Okay, let's see what we got. Let me see. I'm going to put it in slideshow. I don't see anybody adding a pin. Imagine then you are having troubles. Let me get out of presentation mode.
Yeah, I don't think I did that right.
Okay, it's all right. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So let me go and I'm going to put the link in the chat to the project. That way you can find it right away. Let's make sure that you find the right project. So click on that link and you will see a Google Earth project coming up. Anybody having issues opening the project? All right, I will assume you have been successful in opening the project. I'm going to go back and present and show you how to add the pin. All right. You notice that this is on presentation mode. You cannot add stuff. You can only see the table of contents, and you can actually move through the different pins that have been added in this mode. Okay? Like I'm moving to Colombia. That's where Brittany went to school and grew up. And then she has a pin for her home. So I'm navigating the different pins by doing this. That's all I can do in this mode. So if I go to the top left of the project, you are seeing my pointer pointing at that arrow there. So if I open that, now I have the search bar and I can search for any place in the world, in the United States or any other country where I grew up or was born. And then when I do that, for example, I do San Francisco. I don't know, that's a city I like. So I go to San Francisco. You notice that on the top, on the right of the project is displaying a little bit about San Francisco. Drop the pin in the main map. And then at the bottom of the window with the information about San Francisco, I can actually save that to my project, to this project. And now I have added a pin for San Francisco in the project. I hope that helps. We are going to do this just for another few seconds. You can always go back to it if you need to. Will be nice to know about
Xavier, on my end, it's showing that I drop a pin, but when you are presenting, I can't find myself on your presentation.
All right, let me go back and let me reload the page. Maybe that's the problem. Hey, I see a bunch of pins now. Look at it. Whoa, nice. Beautiful. Thank you so much, guys. You rock the place. Then let's play. Let's see where we are from then. Let's see. Slideshow. So you know that I'm from Dominican Republic, Santo Domingo. Anytime you want a good vacation, go and get on the beach there. Then Brittany was born in Colombia. Then let me see, pin number 3. Number 4 is Candy, Adrian's home. All right, Adrian, thank you for sharing that with us. Pretty cool. Then next pin is Syracuse. Who is from Syracuse?
I am.
All right, what's your name? I'm not looking at the meet.
Oh, Suzanne Ramsey.
Suzanne, Miss Randy, thank you so much for posting. Syracuse is a beautiful place. All right, let's see. Number 6, we got, well, Candy, Adrian's home. We did that. Thank you for you dropped a pin twice, but that's fine. Morgan Hill. All right, Morgan Hill Community Park. Beautiful. And if you were going to suggest something about Morgan Hill, where should we go if we visit there? What are some good places there in Morgan Hill? Who's from Morgan Hill? Okay, then we'll continue. Well, next one. Morgan Hill can come back and share if you want to. Brick River Falls. Wow, people from all over the country. Mount Vernon.
That's me.
All right, check the name because I'm not looking at the
And
name.
EJ, I was going to ask you, how do you change the name? Like I was able to find Mount Vernon and pin it, but then I didn't know how to put, like, you know, Dina. I didn't know how to put my name. That's what I didn't know how to do.
Okay, if you click on the place, hold on, let me go back. You have to go in edit mode. See, on edit mode, if I go to mine, you notice that it drops here now. Now I can actually edit that if I click on the edit. All the information here is editable. That's how I enter my description and everything. And up here on the top, you notice that it says EJ's home, Calle La Filantrópica. That's where I grew up. So you can put my home there, or Celia's home, or Cindy's home, whatever.
Okay,
Right
thank you.
You are so welcome. All right, we'll do a couple more. Thank you for doing all these, guys. Let's go back to presentation slideshow mode. So we were in Mount Vernon. Now we're going to travel all the way. Actually, let me go and open here and go Mount Vernon. Here is Mount Vernon. So we go to the next. You notice that I didn't have to go one by one. I went to the table of content here on the left, and I chose where I kind of stop last. Now I'm going to go very likely to reading, right? Then I go, wow, check it out. Matthew, is that you? Cotonou?
Yes, that's me.
I knew it. All right, look at that. Wow, look at the beach there. I bet you that's a place that is good to visit too, right?
Absolutely.
All right, thank you for sharing. Then let me see. Back to Lindsay. Lindsay, we have to go and have some coffee or tea there. Let me see. Margaret's birthplace. Thank you, Margaret. What's the name of the place, Margaret?
Boulder, Colorado. Sorry.
Oh, Boulder, Colorado. Look at that. Let me see if I can zoom out. Yeah, Boulder, Colorado. Look at the Rocky Mountains here on the left. Nice, beautiful. So two more. Let's see. We got here San Francisco. Is that me? That's the one that I put in, right? There's nobody from San Fran. Okay. Then here goes 15. And we end with reading. Untitled place mark. Reading Pagoda. All right. Thank you. Who is from Reading Pagoda?
It's actually Reading, Pennsylvania, but it clicked on the pagoda. That's a little building.
Reading, Pennsylvania. Oh, Pennsylvania. A lot of history there. Thank you so much for participating in this. So I'm going to stop presenting there and move us to the next thing we're going to do. Then escape that. Then I'm going to present back my module 2. Thank you so much. That was fun. I hope it was fun for you. For me, it was knowing. I mean, we got people here from half the world. A lot of travel we had to do to get to where we are, right? So let me do a slideshow here. So we are our strategy review is very simple. We want to look at some ways that we can use innovative technology to help foster collaboration in the classroom. That's all it is. We are going to be looking at a couple of things that are online, and we are going to also talk about a couple of tools that we have here in our what we call the DPS Market Space Checkout, that you can actually check out some of the things to use with your students. So we're going to go through some Google projects, then utilizing virtual field trips. So much learning there that I, as an adult even, I have done by doing these field trips. We're going to look at a couple of pieces of augmented reality. And then at 1:45, we should go back to the main room where we started the meeting. It's at the very beginning of the presentation. So that's what we're going to do today. I want to remind us, it's important to know that what we are doing has a purpose, both for us as teachers and for the overall strategy of the district. So I just wanted to mention that the linkage between what we do today and the global strategy of this school and district is around high-quality, rigorous, cultural, and linguistically sustaining instruction. And more specifically, we're talking about increasing historically underserved students' access to learning opportunities beyond the classroom instructional time. This is something that they can do with you in the classroom. This is something that they can attack as a homework, as an extracurricular project, whatever. Also, another important area is that under culturally linguistic sustaining planning, as you are looking at this tool, then you have to think about, hey, where in my lesson, where in my unit, this particular tool could help me and help my students learn the concepts that I'm trying to teach. So that's where we are sitting, trying to produce some enhanced academic programming opportunities, right? So our CRE mindset, high expectation, practice one, key action, institute a collectivist approach to learning and academic achievement. So our students involved and being responsible with the learning and working as teams. Being able to meet with rigorous and facilitate collaboration, problem solving, and monitoring progress through whatever tools we are using. Also planning for the students to assume different roles when working in groups. And finally, discussing what the community can achieve as a collective. We're going to explore some tools here in Google Earth that can really produce some conversations that are at community level and even country level. We also, in our instructional rounds, I don't know if you guys have participated in one already, but every Wednesday, the collaborative leaders are choosing a school to go and observe. And they have decided to focus on these couple of areas. Students use structures and routines to collaborate with peers in a way that every person contributes as an integral part of the community and builds positive relationships during and after lessons. And also culturally sustaining. Students participate in teamwork and collaboration while learning and have opportunities to learn from one another. So those are our linkages today. What do we mean by integrating STEAM concepts? We have to be very specific about this because STEAM is something that is an idea that many people have a kind of different sense of what it is and how to implement it. But here are a couple of 4 different areas that as you plan your lessons, you can think about integrating into your planning to produce a STEAM experience. So you can do technology-enhanced collaboration. Leveraging innovative technology for collaboration underscores the importance of technology in facilitating collaborative work. So technology-enhanced collaboration, that's one way. Interdisciplinary collaboration, where you basically have teams that have different type of knowledges and they come together to solve a particular problem. So setting an activity in that way is part of what STEAM is about. Also, virtual remote collaboration spaces where people collaborate from afar, being from home, being from other cities, whatever, right? Also, innovation through technology collaboration, and we're talking about collaborative innovation that often involve leveraging technology to create groundbreaking solutions. And there are many ways to do that, but these 4 bullets, if you do any of these 4 bullets, you are moving your lesson in the direction of STEAM. I want to add that, whatever tools you decide to use, it's important that you declare those. And the way that we declare those is actually by going to what we call our ATM, Academic Technology Management Tool. And there are specific steps that a principal or a school leader have to take to be able to have a particular technology or tool released to the teachers at the school. This is not something that we nowadays can do, just sign in a website, and I want to use this website. You know what happened a year or 2 ago? We lost a lot of student data and also teacher and employees' data due to a hacking. And it was done basically through different tools that were not necessarily being overseen by our Department of Technology. That's why there is a bit of difficulty this year, and we apologize for that. But the security of the network is paramount. There are a few more laws that have passed in Colorado and through the nation around protecting student information, and we teachers, schools, and districts are liable if we are hacked or lose information through channels like different apps that are not authorized by the district. So it's important to follow that. If you need more information, there is that image has a link that takes you directly to the instruction about the ATM. So let's talk about Google Earth. Let me exit the presentation, and I'm going to move us through how this works and present a couple of projects there. All right, let me get there. And okay, you just saw a moment ago when we were doing the warm welcome for our breakout, you saw the tools that are part of Google Earth. You have the tray where all the events, all the different places that are in the project are displayed. You also have a reset button that basically closes that tray to provide you with more screen space. There is a little dice that basically you throw your dice and it will take you randomly to a particular place. And you can do some research about that place, but it's a kind of random chooser for different places around the world. You also have a navigation bar. The navigation tool actually helps you plan a trip, for example. Also, at the very bottom, you have what is called a geographical location. And in that geographical location, once you click on it, it will take you to the current geographical place and display information about that place. Let's explore a few of these Google Earth projects. Let me move and present a different tab. Are you able to see a tab that is called Take a Tour in Google Earth? Please let me know. Yeah, all right. Thank you. I just don't want to start moving like crazy and losing you guys. All right, here is a list of Google Earth projects. There are some that are my favorites, but there is a lot of stuff here. And these projects are trying to give you many times a bird view of particular problems that we as humanity, as citizens of the world, are trying to tackle. For example, I'm going to click on sea level rise. Okay. I'm going to click on tour cities. You notice that my table of contents now is populated. I'm in slide 2 of 20, and we're looking right now at a social station in the North Pole. So they are looking at different glaciers and how they are melting nowadays. If I move to the next city, now I'm in London, and you can see an estimation of the level of rise that can have a 2 degrees centigrade or 4 degrees centigrade. If I click on 2, you can see that the level in the picture changes. You can see that the bridge basically, as it goes over the river, the bridge actually disappears, right? And you can see it also on the picture on the left. You see the level of rise depending on how many degrees we have and what kind of, and the cool thing is that you can actually tour these. You can go around in kind of 360 degrees. Let me see, there is a, somebody drop a note. Okay, Kathleen, you said that you don't see it. Okay, I'm going to drop the link for this activity directly onto the chat. So you can.
I think it's because we are not seeing your second screen. We are still seeing the first screen that take a tour in Google Earth.
Okay, then let me switch in a different way. Because I switched to that tab by presenting that particular tab. But let me go directly to the tab then. Okay. Sometimes, technology is not 100%. It's not 100%. Let me see. Are you able to see the tours themselves? Okay,
we are seeing a table that says take a tour in Google Earth.
Okay.
Rise, Earth, and night, and so forth.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm going to launch sea level rise, and I'll switch to that tab then. Let me go there. Okay, can you see now?
Yes.
Oh, perfecto. All right, so we're in business. So once I click to cities, then I have the choice of going to whatever city I want and see how the projection of sea level rise will affect that particular place. So we were in London a moment ago. Here is London, and this is how it looks with a 4-degree centigrade rise. This is how it looks with 2 degrees centigrades of global warming. And again, you notice on the top right, you can see the bridge at 2 degrees. You cannot see it at 4 degrees. Let's go to another one. New York City, my beloved New York. If we don't get ready, check it out. This is how it looks at 4. This is how it looks at 2. Very different. New York is one of those cities that will be heavily impacted by sea level rise because of the bay, the Hudson Bay. And that's how it looks at 4 degrees. This gives you an idea of that particular activity. Let's look at one more. Let me go and switch back. So let's go and present. Okay, let's see. I'm going to choose, let me see. What about the changing forest? This is an interesting one, I think. So I'm going to choose that one. Okay, now we're in a soybean farm, I guess. You can see how the landscape changes as people prepare the ground for planting, agricultural growth, for example. One of the things in this particular, this is a time lapse between 1985 and I think 2017. Yeah, 2017, 2022 to 2022. So 85 to 2022 of the changes in Bolivia, looking at farmland. If you look at the left side of the time lapse, you can actually see the river moving. There is a little river that winds around, and you can see how it moves. And that has to do with erosion, of course. There was a lot of vegetation before that provide resistance to the ground for the river to stay where it was. But then you look at as the land clears, you can actually see the riverbed moving. It's just amazing. So that gives you a little bit of an idea of this one. Let me go back to the meet then, and I'm going to stop presenting the tab. Any comments or questions on your side about this one? Okay, let me see. Somebody drop a comment. No? Okay. No comments, no questions, no reactions. How would you use these?
I have a question. Is the Google Earth already approved by DPS?
Yes, it is. We're a Google district, and most Google products, we can run them without any, not even request to run them. But always, if you have trouble, just contact me, or contact your digital coach, and we'll be able to help you to set up. All right. Then let me go back to the presentation and go to our next slide. Okie dokie. Then you saw some examples of projects through Google Earth. These projects were actually created the same way that we created our project at the very beginning. People using time lapses from different parts of the world. And these satellite photos, time lapses, are actually public domain. So all you have to do is choose do a search for time lapses, and you'll find a lot of different things. Then let me go. Then virtual field trips. These are some awesome resources. We have been looking at 360-degree tours. Let me show you a couple of those, guys. Let me see. So let's go to exploring the deep sea. What do you think? That might be a good one. Are you able to see the tab that says Life in the Deep Ocean? Please let me know.
Yes.
All right. Okay. So these pictures, they are not only let me see. I want to make sure that we are actually seeing the 360-degree. So we are looking at Galapagos right now, or Galapagos, like they call it. Are you able to see the seals there? And these are 360-degree pictures of the ocean floor in the Galapagos Islands. So students can actually see directly how this looks like without having any scuba diving equipment. Let me see. Let me make sure that I'm displaying. Yeah, I'm displaying that correctly. Okay. Let me go to one more. So I am right now in 360-degree videos, National Geographic. Let's see, this deep sea exploration, Indonesia coral reef. Let's check that one out.
Hey, Denver. Google Fiber WebPass is expanding in your area, and we're bringing gigabit into.
Okay.
Oceans are critical to keeping our global ecosystem in
The
balance.
cool thing is that these are draggable
They are home to hundreds of thousands of
360
species,
degrees.
many of which are under
You are
threat.
not really tied
There are millions of people whose
whatever the
day-to-day
species
survival
is, and you
depends
can
on their
control on
continuing
your
health.
phone, view different things.
My connection to the ocean is rooted in my love of surfing. It's taught me that the sea is a dynamic and powerful force, one that demands respect.
Okay. All right, that gives you an idea more or less how that works. Let me go back to the presentation and share that with you.
EJ,
I'm here.
sorry, I have a question. So the virtual field trip, the first one that the Galapagos Islands, was that through, so did you, I saw on the top it said Google Arts and Culture.
Yes.
So,
that's
would I like just Google that, Google Arts and Culture, and then?
correct. They have, they not only, they have so many different themes and topics to do a kind of virtual field trips. You can do museums, you can do science institutions, universities, and museums of all kind. Of course, there is a lot of tours about different museums and their art, and you can basically be present there. You get to see things pretty closely.
Okay. And then the second one, I saw that it was YouTube. So so you went to YouTube and then you put in 360-degree videos or National Geographic videos?
That's
How
right.
that works? Okay, thank you.
Yeah, this is a whole collection of 363-degree, and it's changing constantly because people are feeding it. You know how it is. Everybody that is traveling, they want to take videos, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
now there are 360-degree cameras that you can take wonderful 360-degree videos, and people are uploading it into these databases. So, no kidding. You look for a place, and very likely you'll find it.
Thank you.
Then let's look at the panels also. These panels are just amazing. I was completely flabbergasted by some of them. Here is one on the flamingos, a flamingo park. Let me see. For some reason in the presentation doesn't let me kind of move forward if I am presenting that tab. Okay. All right, let me go back to the presentation. Definitely, there are some very cool things out there that people can use Let me give you an idea, for example, how this is a kind of sample project, moving cargo around the world. Imagine using Google Earth, for example, to kind of chart different routes. And this map here are routes of what cargo ships actually do nowadays. These come from an association of international shippers, and they have many different maps of different routes that companies use to move goods around the world. Imagine planning a trip. For example, you can have a group of students actually looking at the route from Singapore to New York, or looking at Framdale, Australia to Rotterdam. And each group is charting the route by measuring, because you can measure in Google Earth, measuring the distance between different spots, different cities through the route, and see how long does it take. For example, let me see, hold on. How long does it take from one place to the other? What kind of planning do you need to do to be able to be ready for a voyage of that type? You know, what about food for the crew? What about activities for the crew as they move to different parts of the world? What about making sure that we have the amount of fuel we need to cover the distance? There is a lot of mathematics, science, social studies that you can incorporate by using some of these tools. Let me see. Like, as I was mentioning, look at this particular setup for a project. You can have, for example, a logistic officer that have to chart the routes and is in charge of feeding the sailors. You can have a person that is in charge of the kitchen, for example, and has to plan the diet for the trip for the crew. Imagine a typical ship of that type move at 4.2 nautical miles per hour and consumes 23,000 gallons of fuel per day. What kind of planning do I need to do to make sure that this happens? Also, the typical cargo ship carries a crew of 30 people. How would you handle the level of uncertainty that the weather and other factors can bring to make sure that you have enough food, water, medicine to maintain the crew healthy? Those are questions that Google Earth, for example, looking at the tools in there can help students get answers to. And it's so much fun to do things like that rather than, just having a problem that you just have to multiply or you just have to divide this is true open-ended, using technological tools online that are available to everybody. Okay. Also, I wanted to mention to you, there is a place that is called Empatico. Empatico is a platform that allows you to collaborate around the world. You can actually connect with classrooms all across the world using this platform. You can connect with a classroom in your school. If you have some teammates that would like to collaborate classroom to classroom, to second grade, working together, or two fifth grades or whatever. And you can also communicate across the country and around the world. The cool thing is that this Empatico actually, when you sign into it, it will allow you, it will give you the time frames that people around the world are available. And you make choices about when you are available in a classroom, what day of the week, what time you are available to connect. And people that have similar time zones can actually dial in, or people that have different time zones have to plan how to dial you in. But your students can talk to other students around the world by using a platform like this. And it's a platform that is safe, doesn't require much login information. Also, we have some augmented reality and collaboration tools that we make available to teachers using our kits, what we call makerspace kits. So we would like to suggest a few of those. There are a few articles here that can help you explore a little more about what is augmented reality and how to use it in the classroom. And we have one tool that is called the Shifu Orbit Globe. Actually, I have that one with me here today. Let me see if you can see it. And basically, this is a kind of holographic image producer. Let me see if I can show you how this works very quickly. Let me go. Okay, let me present. I'm going to present what I have in my phone. Let me see if that works. I have to do a little bit of prep here. Yeah. Now it's not registering my cell phone. Bummer. Okay. Then basically, what I was saying is that that's a holographic globe, and when you point to your phone, it will pop things out, and kids can click on it and investigate about places, investigate about animals in those places. All that is free of charge. Thank you to the Educational Technology and Library Service Department. It's ready for you to check out at any time. Also, we have another kit that is called Light Up, and it's for the students to explore the theme of electricity, for example. These are more geared to elementary, middle school. We also have others like Sensor Alive that has more content geared to middle school and early high school. I also put the ETLS Kids list there so if you want to explore some of those. Any questions about any of these? Well, let me ask you then. I want you to take 20 seconds. Think about what are some ways that you could incorporate these in your teaching. What are some things you are curious about with this type of tools and content? All right, Margaret, you go ahead.
I was interested in maybe using the Google Earth things to do a mapping project. I'm concentrating more heavily on arts. And so maps and mapping could be a physical, hand-done piece that I then, and first do the Google Explorer, do a hand piece, and then translate that into drawing software might be interesting.
Excellent. Great idea. I really like it. And, art can bring things alive for students. And there are so many different connections. There is opportunity for collaboration, for example, between the art teacher and the social studies teacher, talking about civilizations, for example. I was looking at Egypt the other day and Egyptian ancient art. Oh, my God, there is so much in there. Anybody else?
I can use it for, I'm doing an environmental and education unit. So I can use it to have the Google map, Google thing to have students explore maybe environmental problem in French-speaking countries, since I speak French, education issues in French-speaking countries as well, and see what we'll come up with.
Excellent, Matthew. You have so much to share from your culture. And, students will just eat it alive, no kidding. They will love it.
Thank you.
Is it okay if I random pick? I don't mean to put anybody on the spot, but I'm curious. I'm like Amy Ravel. What are you thinking? Would you mind to share?
No, I'm trying to process all of it. I think that a lot of the Google Earth stuff I've used before with students, and it was really a cool way, especially at the beginning of the year, to get to know each other. And, it was a kind of a cool way to visually communicate a little bit differently. So I'm kind of thinking of what else I can do with Google Earth.
Awesome. Good. Hey, don't forget to share. If you guys come with different projects for that, tell other teachers about what you're doing. I wish there was more use of these type of technologies. And what I was sharing with you today is a kind of simplistic, because I'm not a content teacher, but I know that you can come with some wild ideas. I know that. Anybody else want to share?
So I am changing what I'm doing with my ELD kids because I have advanced kids in 5th grade, and they have a virtual field trip unit. And so instead of like having us just look at pictures of a beach, I let the kids pick some different locations that they're interested in, and we're going to use the same kind of language frames to do it that way. So I was really intrigued about the table of contents thing, so that I can put like all of the different places that they picked, so they can kind of go easily between the different ones.
Awesome, Lindsay. That sounds exciting. What you said that you teach upper level elementary, right?
So I'm actually a whole lot of different things, but kind of library tech. I'm doing STEM, and then I do math intervention, and I have one group of ELD kids. So I'm a little bit of everything.
All right, man. You're a busy woman.
It is.
Yeah. Suzanne, would you mind to share something that maybe what you are thinking about?
I don't know. I'm just taking it all in. My kids are really struggling this year. So I've only used Google Earth for a project last year where we researched different places, famous places, and they just play on it. They look to see where the place is located. I try to get them to look at, go inside and kind of look around and get a sense of location. That's pretty much it right now. I'm going to see how I can incorporate it.
Yeah, one step at a time, If your students don't move at a fast speed, then, adapt to what they can do. Maybe a little reading about the place, choosing some words that intrigue them about that particular place, things like that. Stacy, you raise your hand. Go ahead.
Hello. I was just wondering, kind of piggybacking on what Susie said. I've had my younger students, like 1st grade, kindergarten, look at Google Earth. But can I create a project and then share it to them, and they can click on the places I want them to explore?
Yeah, you can create a project yourself, and then like anything in Google, you click on the share button, and it will ask you if you want to share it as a link or you want to email it directly. Of course, with students, it's a link. What we're going to choose is the easier way, and have them click on that link in their Chromebooks, and it will take them directly there. And then they can choose on the tray on the left, they can choose a place that, or you assign to them, or one that calls their attention. No problem, Stacy. It's a pleasure. Well, we're supposed to go back in 2 minutes to the main room. I'm going to post that link here on the chat. Let me stop presenting and get you that link right away.